The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Central Kentucky high school football starts now.
It is a cool and crisp, a perfect night for high school football live tonight at Bryan Station High School. I'm Chris LaBar alongside Rick Reams. The district opener tonight, it's GRC and Bryan Station. Should be a great ball game.
Got two teams that are red hot. Bryan Station's won 4 games in a row. GRC 4 out of 5 games. One thing, Bryan Station, 4 straight games against this GRC team. This
Defender team, they are a different team than they were in the opener, and they are going to be a team to be reckoned with here in the postseason.
Absolutely, just talent all across the board. This team scheduled hard early on to get to this point, but you know what? All that's off to the side, because right now, district starts tonight.
GRC led by dual threat quarterback Sam Clements. This is a young football team, but they are playing better.
Absolutely, and that's what you want. You want to build towards the playoffs, and that's what they're doing with this team. You go through Clements and you go from there.
It's the 40-year high school reunion, the class of '83 being celebrated behind us. Up next, we'll chat with both head coaches when we come right back.
First opened during the Great Depression, and we've been open for over 85 years now. Through everything that's come our way, we've stayed open by working to make life easier, better, and fresher. By making a real difference in the communities we serve. And by being the kind of place where your money always goes a little further. That's why we're open. Come see for yourself.
Did you know that Cartown Kia has one of the largest pre-owned inventories in the region? And did you know that we source vehicles from all over the country? Not only will we pay top dollar for your trade, we'll buy from you even if you don't buy from us. So stop in today for a quick and easy appraisal, and while you're here, check out the new Kias arriving daily. There's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. Visit Cartown Kia or shop anytime at cartownkiausa.com.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Let's get real. For a lot of people, 4 years of college might as well be a million. With us, you can get a certificate in a matter of months and start a career right away. College for the real world. College for your world.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. Get started by finding the program that works for you. Bluegrass Community and Technical College. Never underestimate you.
And a pleasant good evening live from Bryan Station High School in Lexington, Central Kentucky high school football. I am Chris LaBar alongside Rick Reams. Coach Joe Cherico and his GRC Cardinals hoping to catch up with him before the ball game, but the team's not even here yet.
I don't know if this is one of those deals where they're just going to come in and play ball or if they're stuck in traffic or what's going on, but I waited on the sidelines till as close as I could before game time, and just they're not here yet, and I'm not seeing any sign of any buses or anything.
Let's talk about this GRC bunch. They started a little bit slowly. They've won 4 out of 5. Nice win on the road 2 weeks back versus Montgomery County. And this quarterback of theirs, he's a little bit undersized, Rick, but he does a lot of things very well.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at him, 56% passing, 864 yards, 10 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, 71 carries for 346 yards, 4 touchdowns. Chris, one thing I want to mention about this GRC team, they're coming off a bye week, and sometimes that helps you heal up a little bit. So that's one question I was going to ask Coach Cherico, how they're healing up. But I tell you what, their offense goes through him, and how he handles the pressure of Station is going to be how this team fares tonight.
Bryce Chestnut, we saw him 2 years back, a transfer from West Jessamine. He's a bruiser when healthy. Did not play 2 weeks ago with an injury. Certainly they're going to need him tonight.
Yeah, he's one of those 5'11", 187-pound senior. They need him out there on the field. Again, does an off week help get him back, get him healthy? Because I tell you what, he's a difference maker. As you said, he just rumbles and bumbles down the field.
Kamani John, over 200 receiving yards, couple of scores. This is a defensive team. They've struggled defensively. You'll talk about some of these numbers coming up, giving up 27 points per game, but they've got a couple of very strong linebackers.
Yeah, I mean, that's who they go through with Miller and Hooten out there at the linebacker, 39 tackles and 31 tackles, 2 tackles for loss for each of them and a sack between them. I tell you what, that's what you're going to have to do against this Station team, is you're going to have to get your linebackers in there, try to crash them and make them uncomfortable.
Jones Howard, 2 fumble recoveries in the game 2 weeks back. He's got a score. So this defensive team, much maligned. But when you're +8 on turnovers as they are, they're going to win a lot of ball games.
That's a huge difference. +8. We've not seen a team this year, Chris, even close to that. Bryan Station's +3, and you think that's pretty good, but you're looking at +8. One thing you have to remember about GRC, though, yes, they give up a lot of points, but they score a lot of points. 33.5 points per game. That's 4th in 6A. So you know what, Chris? As long as you score more teams than the other team, more points than the other team, it doesn't matter what your defense is. If your offense can score, you're going to win the game.
District opener for both these teams. The other 2 foes in the district, Frederick Douglass and Madison Central, they're playing tonight on the farm, so we will update you throughout the evening in that game. But talking about Coach Cherico, and what a story he is. He owns the state championship ring at Paintsville back in 2020, and 2 weeks back gets his 100th career coaching victory.
A lot of guys dream about that, being able to have 100 years. But, he could have very well stayed at Paintsville and just kept that program going. But he wanted to come into the bigger arena in GRC, and that's what he's done. So he gets that 100th victory. But I would tell you that I'm sure he says he's not satisfied till he brings a state championship to this school.
His son just celebrated a birthday, put that on Twitter, so happy birthday, Braden. Coach Cherico, first class, and he's got a tough job there at GRC. The basketball program, so much, both boys and girls, so much mystique. This football program a little bit under the radar over there.
And kind of that's what you would like as coming in as a coach, but what you want to do is you want to elevate that. We've seen a guy named Mark Stoops do that at a certain university here in town. A basketball school all of a sudden is playing football. And GRC, they're trying to get up that next ring, and the starts tonight because you win this game in the district. It's a huge start to district play.
It is a perfect fall Friday night here in October. Tonight's weather presented by Meijer. Visit their Hamburg location at 2155 Paul Jones Way for any of your shopping needs. Meijer, a proud supporter of Central Kentucky High School athletics on Glycod. It is dry, unlike last night for the male Southern game, but it is dry tonight, low to mid-60s, and clear. A perfect night. So glad you joined us here for high school football on Week 8. Up next, we'll chat with the keys in this ball game. Should be very interesting. Rick's take on what should be a very competitive matchup. It's GRC and Bryan Station, and more coverage when we come back on Glycod.
Let's get real. You could go to work right after high school, but spend a little time with us and we'll give you a better chance to do more, be more, and earn more. College for the real world. College for your world.
Paramedics do the incredible. They help save lives. And so can you by donating at CSL Plasma. Your plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines. And you can be rewarded for your generosity. Every plasma donation can do so much for so many. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate plasma today at your local CSL Plasma Center.
Hi, I'm Sarah Neely. I'm the financial manager at Mill Ridge Farm. Whenever you transition financial institutions, there's a tremendous amount of paperwork involved. Traditional banks streamlined this paperwork, and they just made it very simple. Traditional Bank is a locally owned bank that allows us to operate on an international platform. They make my life better, they make my job easier, and they make Millridge a better place.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something at school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
The Martin family has been in the trucking industry for over 3 generations. My grandfather started this company selling salvage parts in the 1960s, and we're celebrating over 20 years as a Peterbilt dealer. Although we've grown and changed over the years, our focus has always been on you. We get it. When your truck's down, you're not making money. That's why we keep thousands of quality parts in stock so you can get back on the road as soon as possible. At Martin's Peterbilt, relationships matter, and that's why we've been around for generations. Come see us.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Welcome back to Bryan Station High School in Lexington. It's George Rogers Clark and the Bryan Station Defenders now for the keys to this matchup, presented by Martin's Peterbilt of Central Kentucky. They strive to keep your trucks moving through outstanding parts availability and unmatched service, all while glorifying Jesus Christ and building relationships. For GRC, what's most important, Rick?
I think the one thing they've got to do is they've got to get off to a fast start. They have to prove to themselves that they can play with this Bryan Station team and they can go ahead and break this 4-game losing streak. The second thing they have to do is not only prove that they can play, they have to try to match Bryan Station's athleticism somehow, and they're going to have a tough task on this because Station is athletic all over the field. But sometimes you just have to come out and you've got to decide you're going to stop your man and let everyone else do their job, and that's what GRC has to do tonight.
And for the defenders?
The Station, I mean, you've got to limit possessions in order to try to slow down that offense. We talked about the fact that they're averaging 33.5 points a game, 4th and 6A. The next thing they have to do, we talked about that just before this, GRC +8 in the turnover. You can't have turnovers if you're Station, and you've got to force turnovers on GRC in order to get this victory and go 1-0 in the district.
Cardinals still yet to take the field, and what are we, 7:14 Eastern, yet to see any visibility of this Cardinal football team.
17 minutes still on the clock, Chris. They haven't changed it. We've been to a number of games this year where they've delayed the start. But, again, I don't know if this is one of these things where Coach Cherico wants to bring his team off the bus and we're just going to play the game, or exactly what's going on. No one else around here seems upset about it. The officials are out on the field. They're stretching. They're getting ready. So, as far as we know, it's still 7:30 kick.
This Cardinal program travels so well, and there are very few fans on that far sideline as well. So, perhaps some travel issues getting here. If we hear anything, we will certainly keep you posted. Philip Hawkins doing a tremendous job here for the Bryan Station Defenders, and he caught up with our Rick Reeves. That conversation when we come back on Glycod.
Did you know that Cartown Kia has one of the largest pre-owned inventories in the region? And did you know that we source vehicles from all over the country? Not only will we pay top dollar for your trade, we'll buy from you even if you don't buy from us. So stop in today for a quick and easy appraisal, and while you're here, check out the new Kias arriving daily. There's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. Visit Cartown Kia or shop anytime at cartownkiausa.com.
I love Head Start.
Children love Head Start, and you will too. Community Action Council's prep academies are hiring now. Head Start is an early childhood education program for children from birth to age 5. Help us give more children the Head Start advantage.
Teacher, what are you waiting for?
Join our team of dedicated education professionals. Apply online today at comaction.org. What are you waiting for?
With Fast Signs, see the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color. With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs. Make your statement.
Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
We first opened during the Great Depression, and we've been open for over 85 years now. Through everything that's come our way, we've stayed open by working to make life easier, better, and fresher. By making a real difference in the communities we serve. And by being the kind of place where your money always goes a little further. That's why we're open. Come see for yourself.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
Rick Reams with Glycod here on the phone with Coach Hawkins from Bryan Station High School. Coach, the first thing I want to ask you tonight is, this is a little weird week. Y'all are out of school for fall break. Tell me a little bit about the differences or the similarities that you did this week.
Well, I think the biggest difference for us is we moved our practice times up to 1 o'clock in the afternoon because we also had the district soccer tournament going on at our school every evening this past week. So we've had to make some changes, and we practiced early, and the kids seemed like they adjusted well to that. And, you know, I was glad for Thursday to come so we could practice at a normal time. But, you know, really we just carried on as usual, just moved the time up a little bit.
I see. Well, you've got a district game coming up against GRC. Tell me a little bit about what it means to your team to get finally into district play.
Well, you know, I think our goal, as with most teams, you know, is to get into that district schedule, and hopefully you've worked out your kinks and you got your team going in the right direction. And, you know, we've been very fortunate in my 3.5 years here to win a lot of those district games. And, you know, it's important to our kids because we know how it affects us in the playoffs. And ultimately our goal is to play as long in the playoffs as we can. So these district wins become important to dictate your opponent and also your home field. And so we're excited to get into the district.
So you're playing against a GRC team that you've beaten 4 straight years, and I know every coach is going to tell me, hey, that's in the past. This is a new game and everything. But tell me a little bit about what you've learned about their team over the last couple of years and what you've learned about your team playing them.
You know, Coach Cherico's done a very good job with that program, and you know, I'm a big fan of him, and he does a great job with those kids, and they've won a lot of games since he's taken over. And to be honest, we have won 4 games, but a couple of years ago, they scared us at Bryan Station. I think we won 7-9 or 6-9. We had to kick a field goal to win the game. So we're not going to take them lightly. We know that they can, you know, on any given Friday, a team can make some mistakes, or another team can do some things that give them an advantage. And so, you know, we're treating them like it's a state championship game. And we expect they'll do the same for us. And we're just going to play hard and do what we do best, and however it goes, it goes.
Well, Coach, one of my jobs at Glycod is to come up with keys to the game for each team. So I'm going to ask you tonight, tell me a couple keys for Bryan Station to come out with the victory.
Well, I think one thing is to win the turnover battle. We started out a little slow this year, and we got, we gave up some opportunities to teams because of turnovers. I think that controlling the football and limiting your turnovers is the first key. The second is to continue to establish the run, and I think it better allows us to get the ball out of Trenton's hands to some of these receivers. But, the run game and of course, our defense, if our defense plays like they have the last couple of years, then we seem to do pretty well in these games. So I would think those are the three things we need to focus on.
Well, Coach, I tell you what, I really appreciate your time. Excited to see a game. Going to be interesting to see. Our weather may be a little bit different, a little bit chilly, a little more like football weather, but excited to see you on the field tonight. Good luck and hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to spend some time with you, and we look forward to this game.
All righty. Thanks again, Coach Hawkins. Have a blessed evening.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
We'll be right back on Glycod.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables. But last week, I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Let's get real. With us, you'll get a great education that can lead to a great career faster. Even better, you won't end up with crippling debt. College for the real world. College for your world.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
Chris LeBar and Rick Reams welcome you back to Lexington Bryan Station High School, the site for Week 8, the district opener. George Rogers Clark And the Bryan Station Defenders, our first time here this year. Always great to come back.
Yeah, beautiful stadium here. I grew up in Lexington. You were talking about the reunion from '83. I was from '81. This stadium did not look the same back then. So just a beautiful field. Have some close friends whose sons played here. And I tell you what, it's just a beautiful night to be out here. We were right. GRC came in off the bus, walked in arm in arm. They're not even warming up. They said, let's play football.
Hearing Coach Hawkins talk about his defense, he's very fond of that unit. JT Haskins Sr., the defensive coordinator, and those linebackers, Frazier's and Hawker, I mean, come on now, something else.
I tell you what, we saw them play against Tates Creek earlier this year at Tates Creek, which we thought was going to be a close game, and Tates Creek could not get anything going against this defense. We called both Frazier's names throughout the night. We'll do the same thing tonight. But, you know, it's always interesting how these coaches, they like to talk about defense wins ball games, but if you watch the games we watch, Chris, that is the truth.
Trenton Cutright, 6'1", 170-pound senior. He is all the talent in the world. We saw him against Tates Creek. A little bit uneven at times. His athletic ability cannot be questioned.
And that's the one thing. He can be uneven, but he's so athletic in one play, he can burn you with his arm or with his legs. And that puts defenses in a tough bind, because what do? Do you back off of him? Because if that's the case, he'll hurt you with your arm. But if you put a rush on him, if he gets through that initial force that comes through there, boy, he can really go a long way.
One other comment from a graphic in that interview, RPI. Bryan Station 3rd in 6A, and RPI really at this time of the year starts to have more and more meaning.
It does. And if you look at that, you try to look at their schedule, I mean their record, and you think, it's okay, nothing great. But I tell you what, this 4-2 team, it's who they've played, how they've won the game. RPI has a lot of different factors in there. But I tell you what, to be number 3, as you said, as your opening district play, boy, you couldn't be much. I guess you could be 2 or 1, but you'll take number 3.
Station a lot on their shoulders here, not only tonight, next Saturday, hosting Douglas at noon. That game has all the makings, but as the old boy says, you got to take care of business tonight.
And that was going to be one of my keys, but I'm trying not to even fall into that trap. But if you're Station, that's a game that's on your radar, because, man, you want that Douglas team. But as you said, if you look past this team tonight, you're going to go into that game 0-1 in the district.
Take a look at the series history back from the late 90s. At least that's as far as we could go. Stations won 8 of 14, including the last 4. And you have to think Coach Cherico and the Cardinal bunch, they're well aware of that stat.
Absolutely. That's one of those things that, you say you don't talk about, but the kids know, coaches know. You want to come in here, you want to get the victory. We saw the same thing last week when Tates Creek wanted to come into Dunbar and finally get a victory, get ahead up in the district, and that's what you could do. I tell you what, if GRC can come in here and get a road victory, that would be huge towards their playoff.
Coin toss occurring out at the 50. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Night. A lot of pink-clad fans, and Bryan Station donning some pink high-end socks, if you will, there.
Yeah, they look really good. And I tell you what, our friends whose son played here, her name was Ann McKinley. She died of breast cancer. And I tell you what, it's just as special. And the nights that they had these events when her kids were playing, we would come and watch them. And they've just continued that. And I think it's so great to see all the pink out here. We see some really, really big men out in pink, and it takes a lot to do that. But they're well aware of the support that the breast cancer survivors get.
White Hat tossing the coin tonight. Bryan Station and George Rogers Clark set to begin things in just over 2 minutes. So it will be Bryan Station football when we come back. Kickoff next on Glycon.
Children love Head Start, and you will too. Community Action Council's prep academies are hiring now. Head Start is an early childhood education program for children from birth to age 5. Help us give more children the Head Start advantage.
Teacher, what are you waiting for?
Join our team of dedicated education professionals. Apply online today at comaction.org. What are you waiting for?
From Glycon, it's Central Kentucky High School football. Tonight's game is brought to you by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. Never underestimate you. CSL Plasma. Do the amazing. Help save lives. IBEW Local 369. Power up your potential. Meyer. Higher standards, lower prices. Traditional Bank, because who you bank with matters. And by Community Action of Lexington, Martin's Peterbilt, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, and Allstate Insurance Agent Thomas Allen. Now to the field for all the action of Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Week 8 is on the air tonight on Glycod. I'm Chris LeBar alongside Rick Reams, Joe Amelian on camera. Our executive producer tonight is Steve Bird. Great to have you with us for what should be an outstanding matchup between two outstanding programs.
Exciting night out here on the football field. I know that GRC with an off week, they're excited to get back. We talked to Coach Hawkins about the fact Fayette County schools were on a full week of fall break. His teams had to stay in town and practice, so I'm sure you're always glad to get back out on the field and quit hitting each other and hit someone else.
This broadcast authorized by Bryan Station High School with production rights owned by Glycod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you for watching. So Station will receive.
It's one of those things you got to really watch. We were just watching the Scott County South Oldham game that we have on Glycod also. Scott County got the opening kickoff, ran it back about 75 yards for a touchdown. And if you're GRC, I talk about a fast start. That's something you don't want to give up, but you got to watch because this Station team is so athletic, they can do the same thing.
JT Haskins, Damon Green back for Station. As George Rogers Clark, the visitors from Winchester, will kick it away. And we are off as Green cradles it at the 10. And there goes Damon Green. And Green across the 40 now. Past the kicker. And he's just out of bounds near the 20.
Boy, a huge run back. Really good job by the kicker there, Chris. You got to give him credit. He didn't make the tackle, but he forced him out of bounds. But, boy, just as we talked about, such athleticism on this Bryan Station team. He found a seam, broke one tackle, and then, boy, he was off to the races all the way down to the 19-yard line.
It's Bryan Station offense on the season averaging 20 points per game against a very strong schedule. Trenton Cutright, senior quarterback, and he is some kind of talent for this Defender offense. Kalen Washington behind him. He's a George Rogers Clark transfer. He'll be the feature running back tonight. 5'8", 210-pound junior. First down and 10. Station from the 19. And Washington prodding and powering his way in for an early score.
You know, he has had this game circled on his calendar, Chris. A GRC transfer, gets the ball from the 20-yard line. One play, touchdown, not the way GRC wanted to start this game.
Washington in. And Station leading by 6. They'll send on Zach Gentry. 21 of 22 on the season for extra points. Gotta like those one-play 19-yard drives. And Gentry puts Station up an early score. We're just underway from Lexington. Back after this on Glycod.
You know that Cartown Kia has one of the largest pre-owned inventories in the region? And did you know that we source vehicles from all over the country? Not only will we pay top dollar for your trade, we'll buy from you even if you don't buy from us. So stop in today for a quick and easy appraisal, and while you're here, check out the new Kias arriving daily. There's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. Visit Cartown Kia or shop anytime at cartownkiausa.com.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by Cartown Kia. Visit their showroom at 3120 Lexington Road in Nicholasville, or browse their inventory at cartownkiausa.com. Cartown Kia, movement that inspires.
Bryan Station in on a 19-yard touchdown rush from Washington. And John backpedaling at the 5 for GRC. He'll fall just shy of the 25-yard line.
A lot easier said than done, but if you're GRC right now, you have to tell your offense, forget about that. This is our first possession. Let's make a fast start. Let's make something happen here. If you're Bryan Station's defense, boy, you'd love to get a quick 3 and out and get the ball back into your offense. See if you can't put the game away early.
Sam Clements, 5'10", 160-pound junior quarterback, will be the GRC signal caller. Over 800 pass yards on the season. 10 touchdowns. 2 receivers stacked to the near side. First play from scrimmage for the Cardinals. There's a yard rush up to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Clemens took that snap, and it was rather apparently just a called quarterback run. And that's what they did, but Station was there to bottle that up.
Primary rushers will include Hayden Heath and, if healthy, Bryce Chestnut for GRC. Kamani John, Haddock Cecil, a pair of talented receivers to the near side. It's second down and long. And a screen pass overthrowing Hayden Heath. Just like that, it's third down and 9.
Yeah, this is one where I tell you what, if you're GRC, you really don't want to give this ball back to Station. And if you're Station, I wouldn't be surprised to see them put some pressure right now to try to get that ball back from Clements.
So third down and 9 on the Cardinal menu as Station feasting here early, leading 7-0 to Mon Green. A very lengthy kickoff return catapulting a Bryan Station 1-yard 19 rush touchdown for the defenders on third down and long. And it's 3 and out as Hayden Heath buried.
Yeah, nothing there. They tried twice up the middle and didn't get anywhere. In fact, lost yardage there. So now it's a fourth down, and GRC's keeping their offense out there, but I would be surprised if this continues. But
the Bryan Station front is so strong. Got Tenari Brown, the nose man, Javon Frazier on one edge. And the Cardinals steering at fourth down and long, and perhaps some trickeration here.
A little quick kick.
Sure will. As that ball propel evading Haskins, and it will be trickled down at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, good play there, but boy, I tell you what, you got to watch. That's easily blocked there because your quarterback is not as far back as your punter would be, and he kicked that ball very low, but Clements got it out there and at least gets it to about, like you said, the 36, 37-yard line. So it'll be interesting to see if Bryan Station comes out and tries to hit early here.
Gary McCauley, left tackle for Station. Gomez, the left guard. Jaden Randall, the center. Keon Watson, right guard. And Javon Frazier, the very talented right tackle. First down at 10, Station. They'll have it from their 37. And a low snap. And it's scooped up and taken up close to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, an interesting play there. Snapped it beyond the quarterback, and Washington picked it up. Got it actually a pretty good gain. Sometimes you say it's a direct snap. That one was not. But I tell you what, just rolled right back to him, and he was able to get a little bit of positive yardage out of what could have been a big loss.
He'll take it for about 4 yards up to the 40. We'll call it second down and 7 officially for Bryan Station. Trips to the near side. And cut right, evading pressure. And he's very loose and prodding and powering close to a first down. He's so slippery out of the pocket.
That's exactly. I tell you what, they had an end come clearing on him, and he just could not get to him. Just so fast, made a wise decision there to go ahead and move up the field there. I'd be surprised. This looks like a first down, but they're going to call it 3rd and inches, it looks like.
So 3rd down and short, as Bryan Station will have it just shy of the 50. Another high snap, cut right out in the flat. That ball too long for Haskins.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think that was kind of one of those plays. Let's try it, see what happens, because we're going to go for it on 4th down here. No need to punt this ball away almost at midfield with 4th and very short.
Couple of erratic snaps here, one in the ground, the second high.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. At this and on fourth down, I would almost go right up the middle. Although, Chris, they're going to give that 2nd and 10. They gave them a first down on that last one. So.
Okay. So we will recycle the chain. 2nd down and 10. It's cut right down the flat. Washington will trek for about 5 to the GRC 48.
Tell you what, he's just got a lot of big body there. He put the hit on the secondary there for GRC. They're going to remember that one in the morning. So right now, GRC's got to come up somehow on a huge 3rd and 5. See if they can get a stop here.
Trio of receivers up top. And cut right will duck it to the near side and right through Damon Green.
Yeah, I tell you what, Chris, against Tate's Creek early on, we saw this also. They had some drops. They kind of cleaned it up later on in the game. But right now, 4th down Station, they're not going to bring their punter on. They're going to go ahead and go for it. And this is a huge play for GRC if their defense can get a stop and get off the field.
From the Cardinal 48. And cut right. Needing 5. Rifles it across the middle, and that ball is caught for a first down up to the 28-yard line. J.T. Haskins
right there, Chris. I don't know that Haskins ever saw the ball till it was in his hands, but boy, a beautiful pass hit him right in the gut and right there to get that first down. A lot of yardage there. Huge 4th down play for Station.
Gain of about 14, so first down and 10. Bryan Station from the GRC 28-yard line. Washington, a short field run, and he'll evade one tackle and bulldoze his way across the 25.
One thing you're going to see with Washington is it's very difficult for one person that first hit to bring him down. He moves so well, and he just is so strong that it's going to take a lot of gang tackling to get him down.
Gain of about 6 for Washington. Already a 19-yard touchdown rush to his credit. Bryan Station controlling the first 5 minutes, leading by a score. 3 to the near, and some movement.
Yeah. I'm just noticing even the officials have pink flags tonight, Chris, so everyone's bought into this.
5-yard mark off. The officials did not leave their names when they came up to the PA announcer, so some anonymity amongst this crew.
Yes. If I'm an official, when I refereed basketball, I just assume people not know my name, so that was good.
Or use an alias.
Yes, exactly. I was always Chris LeBar when I was refereeing.
That's right. Tim Rose.
Exactly.
It'd be 2nd down and 9 from the 28-yard line. Two to the top as cut right. And it looked like some movement again. This time no flag now. There's a flag as cut right parades up the near side.
Yeah, we saw this a lot last week, Chris. One of the receivers left early, but like you said, boy, they're having some snap issues right now. That one is just either high or low or hanging up in the air. I tell you what, it's very difficult right now.
That pink flag threw me for a loop there for a moment, looking for a yellow flag, of course. And
I think what he did is he called that maybe the ball hit the ground, a fumble. I'm not sure. It's not
so
a
there
flag.
Is no flag. I beg your pardon.
No, I thought the same thing. There should have been out here on the side, but they let him get by with it. So broke just at the right moment.
So 3rd down and 9 from the 28. Little discombobulated drive here for Station. There's a sweep. And Washington, plenty of room down that far sideline, upended near the 10.
And, Chris, you saw something there. They went ahead and they put Cutright under center, and I think you're going to see that more and more. Was able to get that pitch outside, a big run there. One way to not have to have bad snaps is get your quarterback under center.
So much firepower on this offense. perhaps Washington's the key. Cold weather playoff game, pound and ground, as they say.
Yeah, I saw about athleticism on the line, receivers, but that running back can make all the difference, opens everything up for you.
They'll mark this at about the 9, so first down and goal. And there is a flag on the handoff.
That one was a false start also.
Take a look at the pre-snap movement there for Station. And it will be first down and goals. They'll mark it back now in the vicinity of about the 14.
Well, they're going to have to walk it back here because they haven't moved yet. If you can get a false start and start at the 5-yard line. Not sure why they were thinking coaches might refuse that penalty. You're going to take that, move them back.
I think GRC would be elated with a field goal attempt here on this drive.
Absolutely. That's one thing. You know, when you get down in this area, you've got to go for little victories. The first victory would be a turnover, but the second one is hold them to a field goal and see if you can get a block or a missed field goal.
JT Haskins already one big catch on this drive. He'll be right there at the middle right of your screen. One receiver high, and Washington. The back is cut right as you see under center. And a bootleg is cut right with his legs sliding in for 6.
That's where what you talked about with the running back, with that fake handoff there to Kalen Washington. He was able to turn outside, beat one man on the corner, and pretty much walk into the end zone.
Trenton Cutright parading in for an early Station score. And Zach Gentry trying to add one to the tally. Trenton Cutright will moonlight as the holder. And Gentry puts it up and through. Bryan Station on top, 14-0. Back after this on Glycod.
I'm Dr. Jenny Millen. I'm owner and chiropractor at Triple Crown Chiropractic and Wellness. I started this practice in 2010, and Traditional Bank is the 4th bank I've tried. After switching, I feel like I'm home. I'm from a small town, and that hometown feel of knowing that they care about where you are now and where you are going in the future, that is a win-win for me.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Trenton Cutright, his 16th touchdown of the year, his 5th on the ground. And Station clicking early. Backpedaling inside the 5 as John upended just north of the 15.
Big hit there. He's going to be slow getting up on that one. That was a big hit. And I tell you what, you hate to say it with 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Chris, but this is a huge drive for GRC. Station put up all kinds of points last week against Senior Class, 56, 41 against Tate's Creek. So this offense is in gear. But right now, if you're GRC's offense, you can't go 3 and out and give the ball back. Your defense is already getting tired.
Well, and you certainly get the sense Bryce Chestnut will not play tonight. He is their top, at least statistical running back, 500 rush yards, did not play 2 weeks ago. We've yet to see him tonight. In the belly of Hayden Heath, and Heath for a couple up to the 19-yard line.
We talked about it last week with Dunbar missing some key receivers. They had some players step up. I tell you what, Chris, it's a little tougher in that running back room to get a player to step up.
Heath, a jack of all trades. They'll use him out of the backfield. He also has 10 catches to his credit, as the Cards will reshuffle alignment.
Yeah, wholesale substitutions.
Haddock Cecil split bottom of your screen, and a direct snap, and Clements Try to slide outside, he will not, and it's third down and long.
Yeah, second quarterback draw they've run tonight. Not a whole lot of success there. They're trying to do some different things to shake up this defense, but right now it's just not working, Chris.
Third down and long. What do you draw up here on third down and long?
I think you're going to have to pass the ball. I would try to roll him out, get him a little bit out of the pocket there, but right now you're at least going to get an offsides, I think, on that. A really, really good snap count there. Smart play by Coach Cherico. Try to get from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 2. Much more manageable there. Opens up your options a whole bunch now.
It's third down and a long 2 from the GRC 25-yard line.
You know, if you're the offensive brain trust, you see that leads to a screen at some point in time because Station's got their ears pinned back.
2 receivers at the bottom of your screen. And Station flinched again.
Yeah. Again, very, very gung-ho, but what you got to do is, boy, you got to contain that. And right now, they're going to make a substitution right there. I think that's one of those you told your players, don't do it again, and then when you do it again, you're going to have to come out and talk to your coach for a little bit.
So the first down for GRC resulting post Bryan Station penalty. And the Cardinals creep down the field. They'll have it at their 30. And Clements direct snap again. And that hole closed properly for a gain of 2.
Yeah, it looked like he had a little bit of opening there, and once it closed, he tried to pop it outside. But that's one thing, this Station defense, you're going to see even their linemen are so fast that they're going to be able to track down a lot of quarterbacks out there and running backs.
Clemens, the pulse of this offense, undersized, only about 160, 5'10", but he is a hard-nosed football player. First year starting quarterback as a junior. 2 receivers to the middle. And Clements on a pump fake, and he's going to float it for a first down. That's a nice grab up to the 45-yard line. There's a flag and a big gain down to the Station 38-yard line. It's Kamani John.
Chris, I'm not sure. There's another pink something on the field about the 31-yard line, so I don't know if we have 2 fouls on the play or not. I think the one that we saw is going to be holding, I think, on GRC, and right now the other official did drop a flag, so he's going to call something too.
Boy, that would be a backbreaker if it's on GRC.
But, you know, even if you get that hold penalty or whatever it's going to be called, you know now that you have that option to throw it down the field, and they did a good job getting the ball down the field. So I think you're going to see that more. You roll him out. Don't ask him to go up in the middle because, as we talked about, Clements just a little bit undersized there, so it's tough to throw over those big linemen.
That was John's 20th catch of the year, but it will not stay on the board as the officials will now mark this. I'm not sure they know where they're going to mark it.
Well, it's going to be an interesting conversation because one thing it could be is it could be something on Station. If that's the case, your best case scenario for GRC is to have offsetting fouls here and just get to replay the down. But we're going to see from, as you said, we don't know the white hat's name, but he's going to come and let us know.
Now we can rule out Ed Hockley.
Ineligible receiver downfield is what they're going to call. I think the other flag they're just going to pick up, or maybe he was calling the same thing. But sure looked like a hold all the way down the field, but maybe what it was they had a lineman all the way down the field blocking, and that's where the call came from.
So second down and 13, it appears. And now going to be a lot more than that as Bryan Station, that front, very overpowering.
Yeah, that quarterback draw right now is just not going to work. If I'm GRC, I'm just going to have to take that out. That could be a check down on your quarterback. You might see something where he's doing that. But I think you're going to have to roll him to one side or the other because Station, I tell you what, their big defensive line is having their way with GRC's offensive line.
Third down and 14 as GRC. 1 first down thus far in this first quarter.
Via 2 offsides penalties.
And they'll have it from their 30. Check that from their 25 as Clements floating it short. That's a nice cradle catch, but short of a first down up to the 36.
It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do here. Station has a defender down on the field. Try to help him up here.
Be 4th down and about 5.
It'd be very gutsy to give Bryan Station the ball back here, but at the same time, as we talked about, this is such a huge drive for GRC's offense. They may just go for it and see what they can come up with.
It was Javon Frazier, a little bit ginger for Bryan Station as he trots off the field. He's okay as he unfastens that chin strap.
Let's shake it off here. Tell you what, one thing, if you're Bryan Station's lineman, you don't want to jump off sides. You give them 10 yards in penalties so far on this drive itself.
4th down and about 5. And Clements back to throw, rifles it incomplete. He was trying to find John, who was blanketed near that far sideline.
Yeah, good defensive series there on that 4th down, just to guard your, stay with your man, not let him make that catch, especially on the sideline now. So you give short field for Bryan Station's offense, and I tell you what, that's a tough ask for the defense of GRC.
Station offense 2 for 2. Trenton Cutright strolled in from 2 yards. Preceding was a 19-yard blast from Washington. Kalen Washington on the ground. And the defenders inside Cardinal territories. We're just north of 3 minutes in this quarter. Cutright floats it to the near. Haskins with the grasp. And forward progression at the 42, a gain of 6.
Yeah, good passes. Long pass all the way across the field, but good job there by GRC. He kind of broke out of that first tackle but was able to stop him there because Haskins, if he gets going, boy, that speed takes over.
Gain of about 7. Station parading down the field just outside of the Cardinal 30. In the belly. And it was a high tackle to the near sideline.
Yeah, okay. Very surprising. One-arm tackle there, knocked his helmet off. Interesting. Yeah, he's going to have to come out for one play. That helmet came off there, but boy, that was a high tackle. But all the officials were right there, so must not have been anywhere near a face mask.
It looked like Teandre Clark on that carry will get that squared away. First quarter in the books on Glycod. Bryan Station on top, 14-zip. Back after this on Glycod.
Paramedics do the incredible. They help save lives. And so can you by donating at CSL Plasma. Your plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines. And you can be rewarded for your generosity. Every plasma donation can do so much for so many. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate plasma today at your local CSL Plasma Center.
Gen Z is a stall generation. The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Bryan Station will have it from the GRC 33. 3rd down in medium is cut right back to throw and some pre-snap movement.
Already said this once, but we saw this a lot last week. These receivers are trying to get an early start off on there. When they do that, that's a very easy call for the officials, which makes 3rd and, as you said, medium into a 3rd and long.
That's the one part of Station's game I think's got to be cleaned up with playoffs looming.
Yeah, those penalties can end up really biting you as you get further and further along in the season.
Got a very sound kicking game with Zach Gentry, and just the little things that need to be cleaned up.
Move the ball back just a little bit. Like they only went 4 yards instead of 5 on that mark-off.
Third down and long. I think we're going to have to put some time back on the clock.
Put 2 seconds back on the clock, Chris.
So a big defensive stand for this GRC team trying to get off the field here.
Yeah, after missing on a 4th down, their offense, a huge play here.
Washington is the back. Yes, cut right. Pressure to the right. And he's going to fling it, and it's caught down to the 15-yard line. John with the tackle and a great throw in heavy confines, and it's brought down.
Boy, he did a good job. He just tippy-toed that line. He was awfully close to the line of scrimmage, but boy, threw across his body, and we show he's got a bullet, and he throws right on the money, hits the receiver right in the chest. So a big first down there on a 3rd and long.
And cut right, the presence of mind not to break the plane. He was dangerously close to that first down marker. And a big pickup on 3rd down. Washington barreling to the near side, and Washington in for another.
Tell you what, this Station offense is something to see. They are really, really talented, and as we talked about pregame, Coach Hawkins loves his defense, so that's just vital on both parts of this game.
Washington touchdown rushes of 19 and about 20. And Bryan Station by 20 as Zach Gentry on for another point after. This one right down Broadway. Bryan Station clicking, leading by 21. And we're back to Lexington right after this on Glycod.
The Martin family has been in the trucking industry for over 3 generations. My grandfather started this company selling salvage parts in the 1960s, and we're celebrating over 20 years as a Peterbilt dealer. Although we've grown and changed over the years, our focus has always been on you. We get it. When your truck's down, you're not making money. That's why we keep thousands of quality parts in stock so you can get back on the road as soon as possible. At Martin's Peterbilt, relationships matter, and that's why we've been around for generations. Come see us.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Bryan Station, 3 scores and 3 touchdowns, Rick.
Chris, one of the keys I said was, can GRC match Bryan Station's athleticism? At this point, the answer is no. So what you got to do is you got to go something different. You're going to have to, you talk about it, trick plays, something, make a change here.
Going to take some turnovers for GRC to get back in this game, I think. And the Cardinals will take it up to the 22-yard line. That was Carter Maynard on the return. So the Cardinal offense averaging 34.5 points per game.
Yeah, Maynard's not getting up. He took a big hit there and still on the field. Trying to get to him and see what they can do, but just hate to see a kid go down on a play like that.
We will take a quick break. Bryan Station on top of GRC back after this on Glycod.
Let's get real. We offer a lot of the same courses you'll find at a 4-year college. But with our small classes and personal attention, you won't get lost in the crowd. College for the real world. College for your world.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Back live at Bryan Station High School. I want to amend it was actually number 6, Landon Belcher, and not 5. So it's Landon Belcher that was injured, and he will limp off the field. So first down and 10 looming for this GRC offense. Inside handoff across the 32-yard line. That's Trey Davis, the freshman.
Yeah, they had a little different formation there. Put one of their receivers almost right in the backfield there. Try to get another blocker there and opened up a nice hole for him for a big gain for them.
Davis, one of those utility knife players. He's got 4 pass attempts on the year. They'll use him out of the backfield. He's got 9 receptions as well. So a very important part of this offense on second down and short. And GRC may have just picked up their first natural first down of this first half.
Yeah, they did. Really, really good job there by GRC. Like I said, they've changed their formation up a little bit, getting a little bit more blocking. Going to be interesting to see if Station can come up with something to kind of get around that and have the success they've had earlier against this offense.
First down at 10 for the Cardinals. Great crowd on hand. 40-year reunion behind us. The class of 1983 being recognized. And been a perfect night to have that. Little trickeration on that snap. Some theatrics from Clements trying to sell the play, and Davis stood up at the line.
Yeah, big stand right there. They're having a lot of trouble. They've tried that quarterback draw, quarterback sneak, whatever you want to call it, just with not much success here lately tonight, just a gain of a couple yards.
Second down and long. Station been in control since the opening kick. Devon Green, a very lengthy kickoff return. And that front is just overpowering.
Yeah, they, like I say, it looked like GRC made a little bit of a twitch in their offense, was able to get some openings, but all of a sudden now Station, they're moving some linemen around and able to get around that and have had 2 stops. The first one was a 2-yard gain. That was a 2-yard loss. So this is where GRC does not want to be, and that's 3rd and long.
Pair of receivers to the top. And Clements up in the pocket and trapped from behind. You looked like a seam was opening up and just too much speed from behind.
Oh, yeah. There's Devon Frazier. You're going to, as we talked about, you see talk about him a lot. And tonight you saw that speed he has. Right now, Chris, it's a 21-0 game, 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, and GRC's going to go for it again on 4th down. If they don't make this, they're going to give Station another short field.
I think Coach Chirico recognizes the enormity of this drive. And Clements needing 5 across the middle. And too lengthy, trying to find Cecil.
Give the line a lot of credit there. Clements had all kinds of time, but the secondary of Station he could not find any open receiver. So again, a turnover on downs, giving the ball back to the Station in your territory is going to be tough on this defense, and they have to be getting tired playing against this athletic Station team.
This drive will commence outside the 40. I'll mark this the 43. Scott County leading South Oldham on Glycod 28-6. Our crew there next week, actually at Woodford County to take on the Scott County Cardinals. So we'll have that for you here next week. Scott County at Woodford.
Another bad snap there. The hesitation on that snap caused your offensive lineman to false start there. Chris, we've talked about it before. Coaches are never satisfied. So even being up 21-0, Coach Hawkins, he's going to have a lot to talk about with his linemen, with his center, with his, with all of them. They, as you talked about earlier, they've got to clean some stuff up because against some really good teams, these penalties will really hurt you.
First down at 15 from the 43-yard line. Check that, the 48-yard line. Yes, cut right. Trapped and slung to the ground.
Great job there by the GRC defense. They were able to get to cut right and be able to get him down in the backfield for a loss. And this is kind of where Station has not been pretty much all night, other than that third and long. This is going to be a second and, almost 20 yards.
Hunter Gully involved in that stop. So now Station well behind the wheel, if you will, from the 50. Yes, cut right. Flings it, and he's got a target, and that ball caught out of the backfield by Chestnut, rather by a Washington. Yeah. Excuse me.
Washington has done a little bit of everything. Coach Cherico is trying to point out to the official where he thought he was out of bounds. Still was going to be a first down, but he's not pleased with that call at all. He thought he stepped out of bounds. He may have thought he stepped out of bounds before he got the ball, which would have made him an ineligible receiver to touch it first, but he's not going to get his way.
Kalen Washington already 2 touchdown rushes in this game. This a huge reception of some 32 yards, and it's first down at 10.
Yeah, the GRC transfer is having a night. Coach Cherico's calling timeout, and this may be to get on the officials.
So GRC will pause play for 30. We'll step aside. Bryan Station having their way over George Rogers Clark here. Middle portion, second quarter. And we're back after this.
The Martin family has been in the trucking industry for over 3 generations. My grandfather started this company selling salvage parts in the 1960s, and we're celebrating over 20 years as a Peterbilt dealer. Although we've grown and changed over the years, our focus has always been on you. We get it. When your truck's down, you're not making money. That's why we keep thousands of quality parts in stock so you can get back on the road as soon as possible. At Martin's Peterbilt, relationships matter, and that's why we've been around for generations. Come see us.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
First down at 10, Bryan Station, as we welcome you back to Lexington. Welcome to the north side, is what they say here. A Station inside the red zone. And that's a screen pass. That ball caught down to the near sideline. It's going to be first down and goal.
Tell you what, a beautiful pass. Just led right where it needed to be caught. Good blocking down the field, moving down the field. And I tell you what, this GRC defense, they're just back on their heels right now, Chris. They just don't have a look to stop this offense.
It looked like Teandre Clark, his second touch out of the backfield. 6', 185-pound junior, first down and goal. And Washington again barreling to the near side.
Boy, it looked like there was another false start there, Chris, but they did not call it. And GRC coaches are asking the same question because, boy, it looked like there was a false start on this left side.
I'm not sure how that something didn't look right. When it doesn't look right, I mean,
yeah.
Come on now. So second down and goal from inside the 5. It is Officials Awareness Week, actually. Just noticed that on social media, all the hardworking officials. And cut right, handing to Washington again, and he is in for an easy score.
Tell you what, takes the lead here 27-0, 5 minutes, 43 seconds. This has just been hitting on all cylinders for Station, and right now GRC just kind of on an all systems failure.
Zach Gentry, perfect 3 for 3 on extra points. Is this one getting out of hand? Middle portion, second quarter. Boy, Gentry looks fluid on those extra points. Bryan Station well in command over George Rogers. Clark, we're back right after this on Glycod.
I'm Dr. Jenny Millen. I'm owner and chiropractor at Triple Crown Chiropractic and Wellness. I started this practice in 2010, and traditional bank is the fourth bank I've tried. After switching, I feel like I'm home. I'm from a small town, and that hometown feel of knowing that they care about where you are now and where you are going in the future, that is a win-win for me.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Coming up at halftime, we will update you on area scores also. Take a look at some of your first half highlights. This Bryan Station, a lot of highlights to pick from. A very impressive first half, Rick.
Yeah, they've looked really good. They've looked at every bit of what we thought they would, and unfortunately GRC right now just doesn't have an answer.
Gentry will try to steer this in the field of play, and it will propel in for a touchback.
Smart play there by GRC. Let that ball go into the end zone. Go ahead, get that touchback, and just get some field position. But right now, we've talked about it. Every drive has been a critical drive. But right now, GRC cannot afford to give this ball back. 5 minutes, 43 seconds left before halftime, and Station's such a high-powered offense. If they get the ball back, they don't need much time to score, Chris.
One of the noticeable differences that I've gathered here in this first half of the numbers. And GRC, very large school, they don't have an abnormal amount of kids playing this game.
When they walked out on the field, Chris, before the game, I thought that was just half their team, but that was all of them. And as you said, there's not a lot of kids out there.
First down and 10 as Clements trying to guide this offense. Flings it across. Israel. Slide over to the 25 and a gain of 5.
Yeah, good pass there. Had protection in the backfield there. Looks like right now Bryan Station's going to take a timeout. They're thinking the same thing. Try to get on the scoreboard one more time. Maybe even go for 2 points after that. Try to get to a continuous clock. But right now it's timeout Station. But a good pass there by GRC.
We'll keep things here. This offensive line, and you commented on it for GRC, doing a nice job of giving Clements time to throw the ball.
Yeah, they are. It's just I think some of the play calls, I don't know what their thought was, but some of the runs of the quarterback have not been quite as successful. But boy, I tell you what, these guys are giving him time. But sometimes I said this secondary for Bryan Station, again, I sound like a broken record. So athletic, very difficult to find some open receivers, but that time waited and was able to find him coming across the middle for, as you said, about a gain of 5.
GRC will have the football to start the second half, so perhaps an opportunity for them to bookend drives here, but this is a group that only has netted 2 first downs in this first half.
And we talked about it in pregame, such a high-scoring offense, Chris, but as you said, they're missing that one cog tonight with Chestnut Nut out there playing.
2 receivers now, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. As Clements on 2nd and 5, rifles a pass, that ball caught, and it should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, I tell you what, GRC's offense is so much different when they get Clements outside and he's able to have a little more time, find his receivers there. So, boy, they got a first down there, an important drive, able to get that first down going and see if they can just move this ball down the field. And as you said, start feeling better about themselves and book in 2 drives going into the second half.
Up now to the 32-yard line. Inside handoff, that's Hayden Heath.
That's what they're having trouble. They're trying to run that ball up the middle. They had success on 2 plays on the last drive, but other than that, they're not having a whole lot of success going right at Station's defensive line.
GRC may be content to pick up a couple of first downs and evaporate this clock as they go empty. And Clements, backside pursuit. Oh my, there's going to be perhaps some festivities here on the near side.
Yeah, not only was it huge to get a sack there, but they got Clements out of bounds, which stopped the clock, although the clock's still moving. So I thought he went out of bounds, but they're going to keep on moving. I guess they called his forward progress down before he went out of bounds. So,
well, the officials were in very good position to make that call. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 13.
Tell you one thing, Clements, he has to go all the way across the field, Chris. Every play, they don't signal any plays in. He's going across the field and running back. I tell you what, if he has a Fitbit in or whatever kids are using today, he's getting a lot of steps tonight.
Heath positioned to the left of Clements, and Clements evading pressure. And that's a very clever 4-yard run.
That is. I'll tell you what, he looked like, as you said, it looked like he was going to be stopped for a huge loss back there. Was able to get out of it. Now you got a 4th and long here. Going to be interesting. They're leaving their offense out on the field once again. Clements again running all the way across the field to get the play call. So this is a huge 4th down. If you don't get this one, you're giving Station a short field with plenty of time for this offense to score again.
You've seen some glimpses of the personality behind Clements. Just a hard-nosed, tough player. He's undersized, and he's got a heart as he's trying to guide this drive and put some points on the board before the turn. 4th down and long, and we have a Cardinal timeout. We sure do.
Yeah, they didn't like the call, so they're going to call a timeout, bring everyone over, and see what they can come up with here on 4th and long.
Take a break now. This from Cartown Kia on Glycod.
Did you know that Cartown Kia has one of the largest pre-owned inventories in the region? And did you know that we source vehicles from all over the country? Not only will we pay top dollar for your trade, we'll buy from you even if you don't buy from us. So stop in today for a quick and easy appraisal, and while you're here, check out the new Kias arriving daily. There's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. Visit Cartown Kia or shop anytime at cartownkiausa.com.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by Cartown Kia. Visit their showroom at 3120 Lexington Road in Nicholasville, or browse their inventory at cartownkiausa.com. Cartown Kia, movement that inspires.
GRC offense back out there on 4th down and long from their 35. And Clements has the snap across the middle, and he's got a guy, but deflected by Haskins. And it will be Station football.
I think they called roughing the passer. There's a flag in the backfield. Station's defenders are, I can't say that, Bryan Station defenders are holding their arms out, but yeah, they're going to call a roughing the passer there. They had a big rush on him, but they just put too much pressure after he threw that ball.
That will not negate a great play by the corner, Haskins.
I tell you what, I talked about their secondary, and Haskins is one of them. Has offers from all kinds of schools. His dad played at U of L, but boy, a huge play there to reach around. It's almost impossible to do that without hooking someone and getting a penalty, and boy, he did it. Great defensive play there, but what a huge break for GRC on that 4th down to get a 1st down and get at the 50-yard line.
That may buy them a couple of more minutes anyway on this drive.
Absolutely.
Back to 1st down. 3 receivers out to the far with Cecil, the sandwich, as Clements weaving his way up the field. That's a very clever 5-yard run.
Again, as you said, he's spending a lot of time back there, is able to run around and get that 5 yards. But as you talked about, Chris, one thing that does with him scrambling like that, it runs that clock, and that's what they want to do. GRC does not. They would love to get in the end zone, but they don't want Bryan Station to get the ball back.
Second down now and 5. as Clements floating it forward. That ball caught by John, and that should be a first down.
Yeah, nice play again. He does a really good job of setting his feet when he takes it to one side or the other. 2 or 3 plays where they found John and the other receivers out on the sideline there. Just makes a nice out pass there to get a first down and keep things moving with 2:28. Now, if you're GRC, you think we've got plenty of time to score also.
The Cardinals have found something on this drive. And it's first down at 10. Clemens, little pump fake. And he's going to take a pounding there for no gain.
They're going to call that a fumble, and they're going to give Station the ball. I'm not sure about that. His arm was moving forward. They're calling that a live ball fumble, giving Station the ball. We're not going to have we'll have a replay, but they're not going to have a replay here. That ball just slipped out of his hands, Chris. A huge turnover.
So the first fumble of this game, very, very difficult from this angle to gather what happened on that play, but it will be a takeaway. Bryan Station, they're now +4 on the season in a debilitating fumble for GRC.
Yeah, I tell you what, as you had just said the words, they found something on this drive. The ball slipped out of his hands, bounced right to the defenders, get the ball with 2:23, plenty of time to take the ball down the field.
Are you saying that was a tuck rule?
I think it was.
First down at 10, cut right. Oh my, a backside blast, and he's going to cough it up.
It's going to be interesting. There's 2 players that have hold of that ball right now. Who's going to come out of the pile with it? Looks like they're going to give it back to Station. But, boy, a big hit there. A great job. And Cutright could not hold on to that ball. Could have been a huge, huge turnaround for this GRC defense.
Be a loss of about 3. So a lot going on here in the final segments of this quarter. Loss of 6. Is Cutright. Oh, my.
2 straight sacks there, and I tell you what, really putting him behind the sticks here. Cutright has taken only about 2 steps back. I think they're going to have to roll him out or move him a little bit further back. But, boy, this GRC defense, if we thought they were tired on this drive, they're showing themselves. Great plays there, 2 in a row for GRC.
And a Bryan Station timeout. Well, what's happened, Rick, is that GRC's offense has moved the field a little bit, and their defense has had a chance to rest.
Exactly, and that's a huge thing. And also, Bryan Station's not taking the ball over on the GRC side of the field. So like you say, right now, 3rd and long. Going to be interesting to see what Station does. Again, if I'm Station, I'm going to roll everyone out and just let Cutright decide if he's going to take a run or make a pass. What we've seen on 3rd and long before, they've had a lot of luck throwing the ball and getting first downs and even more yardage after that.
Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. And Coach Hawkins, he knows his team, and he's a very aggressive play caller. So perhaps he'll use this as an opportunity to dial something up.
And it could be also that they're going to tell them, listen, we can't get it all on 1 down. I mean, if we don't get it all on 1 down, let's get some yardage and let's see what we're going to do on 4th down here.
From the 26, Station moving back on the first 2 plays on this drive. Clark is the back to the left of Cutright. And Cutright flinging it. Oh, my. And he's got Green that's going to stroll in for an easy score.
Huge play there. Looking around, no flags on the play. Great job. Rolled it out, threw it on the run. Had a lot of pressure. I thought the ball was almost going to get tipped when he threw it. But as you said, wide open out there and walked into the end zone. Looks like Station is going to go for 2 here.
36 points will make this game a running clock. And Damon Green, his first touchdown of the season. Kind of like a snowbirding in basketball. Didn't get back on defense. He was so wide open.
Yeah, and I tell you what, though, sometimes that's the hardest one to catch, Chris. Sometimes you drop that ball, but, boy, a snowbird, that's exactly right.
2-point try attempt, and Clark will waltz in. Bryan Station having their way tonight in Lexington. Rick and I return after this.
Let's get real. We offer a lot of the same courses you'll find at a four-year college. But with our small classes and personal attention, you won't get lost in the crowd. College for the real world. College for your world.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Running clock as Station blitzing GRC tonight. We talked about Coach Hawkins on 3rd and 19 that would not preclude him from dialing up a big play.
No, after two huge plays by the GRC defense, they couldn't do it. Chris, if my math is right, Station right now, last 3 games, 133-0.
Wow. Taking care of business tonight with a big matchup next Saturday. Hosting Frederick Douglass. Gentry's kickoff short and fielded at the 11. Nice shifty run there by John as he'll take it across the 30.
Chris, one thing you got to think about if you're GRC is, with the moving clock, I forgot about that. The clock's not going to stop, so they can just take a couple plays, go into halftime, try to regroup. But I tell you what, the one thing about that number, 133-0, as impressive as the 133 is, the 0 to me is more impressive.
This is a team, and you get the sense statewide, this is becoming a program, a lot of respect for what Coach Hawkins has done with this team.
Absolutely. And if you didn't have respect before, after these 3 games, you have to have respect for this team.
Raising some eyebrows. Again, number 3 in the RPI and 6A coming in as Clements will nudge it forward. Israel, now what's he going to do with it is his thought as he's powered to the ground at the 40. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout. I think whistle did blow on that far sideline.
Yeah, so my thought of Coach Jericho just going in at halftime is not the way. He wants to get some points on the board.
We'll update the score ticker at half. Lafayette at Henry Clay tonight. That's a big ball game, a district matchup between those two teams. Very hungry for a win, although Lafayette got a win 2 weeks back.
It's going to be interesting to see. Can Lafayette build on that, or can Henry Clay finally break through and get a huge district win? So I'll tell you what, that's a big game. Noticing Scott County's up 43-6 at halftime at South Oldham. A big game there for them. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting. We were so excited that Lafayette was able to get the victory, and now me being a Henry Clay alum, I would love to see the Devils get on the win column.
So GRC now void of timeouts. Running clock.
What you don't want right now is you don't want to have a turnover if you're GRC.
Already, that was nearly a pick 6, and that ball's intercepted on the far sideline for Station.
I tell you what, Chris, you nearly had a pick 6, and then you had another interception, but that clock's going to keep on running, which is going to end this half.
Let's take a look at this amazing defensive play for Station.
And I tell you what, I think that was an interception even in the NFL. He got both feet down, Chris. Very, very athletic and impressive play for Station there as we end the half.
That was Jaden Shagog with the pick. Station +2 on turnovers. Well, we're not at halftime just yet. I beg your pardon.
They're going to try to get one in.
Well, now we are. So that will take us to the turn. Bryan Station, a very impressive effort tonight. They lead George Rogers Clark at the turn. And Rick and I have more after this on Glycod.
Children love Head Start, and you will too. Community Action Council's prep academies are hiring now. Head Start is an early childhood education program for children from birth to age 5. Help us give more children the Head Start advantage.
Teacher, what are you waiting for?
Join our team of dedicated education professionals. Apply online today at comaction.org. What are you waiting for?
Did you know that Cartown Kia has one of the largest pre-owned inventories in the region? And did you know that we source vehicles from all over the country? Not only will we pay top dollar for your trade, we'll buy from you even if you don't buy from us. So stop in today for a quick and easy appraisal, and while you're here, check out the new Kias arriving daily. There's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. Visit Cartown Kia or shop anytime at CartownKiaUSA.com.
with fast signs, create striking custom visuals that inspire pride district-wide. Fast signs, make your statement.
Hi, I'm Sarah Neely. I'm the financial manager at Mill Ridge Farm. Whenever you transition financial institutions, there's a tremendous amount of paperwork involved. Traditional banks streamlined this paperwork and they just made it very simple. Traditional Bank is a locally owned bank that allows us to operate on an international platform. They make my life better, they make my job easier, and they make Mill Ridge a better place.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something at school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by IBEW Local 369. Find out about their apprenticeship and training programs that help you earn while you learn. IBEW Local 369. Power up your potential.
Halftime tonight at Bryan Station High School. It's all defenders. They lead George Rogers Clark 36-zip at the half. I'm Chris LaBar along with Rick Reams. This has been some kind of performance.
I tell you what, just a very an overall effective performance for this Bryan Station team. Talking to one of their assistant coaches who I know was telling me that Trinity, they started off at Trinity, just a big field to come into, and then they had a little hangover and they were kind of in their feels at that loss at Franklin County. But after that, they've learned from their mistakes, and here they are, 36-0 opening district play. And as you said, Chris, so far a good start to think about next week against Douglas.
Well, and Douglas having their way as we update the ticker. But this offense has got so much talent. But Washington, I think, you're the analyst, but for me, I think he's the difference maker on this team.
Absolutely, because you can't key on, on anyone. You have to watch him, and then that opens the field to everyone else. We talked about it, Green on that long touchdown, wide open, untouched, was able to get it. Washington even was able to get out and get the ball. And I tell you what, this offense just so impressive. And, there was a GRC transfer may have been the missing piece to get them to the next level where they want to be.
Take a look at the halftime scoring summary. You'll see Kalen Washington's name here 3 times. He's got 3 touchdown rushes, 19, 16, and 1. Cut right, a scramble score from 15. And then Damon Green, nobody back on defense, 74-yard reception right before half.
Yeah, what was it, 3rd and 18 or 19? I had just said, hey, try to get enough yards to go on that 4th down. And you said, boy, Coach Hawkins, he's not going to just settle for that. And he did. Green got behind everyone, as you said. It looked like he was snowbirding out there and made the catch and got it into the end zone. Gets a 2-point conversion to go up 36-0 and get a continuous clock.
Our scoring summary presented by Traditional Bank. Who you bank with matters. Halftime score, Bryan Station on top of George Rogers Clark, 36-zip. Back with more after this on Glycod.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity. It's about the best I can put it.
The cost of school is free, actually. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every two weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training. So you're getting paid to do your job.
You can start off with absolutely no knowledge, and they're going to give you the tools and the foundation to build up from there.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable, and they care about actually making sure you understand the information that they're presenting to you.
So I know that when I go to motor control, Wayne he's passionate about motor control, and he wants you to get it.
But it's really not like school. It's they're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field. So you're able to implement what you're learning almost on the fly. And sometimes you're learning more things in the field. By the time you get into the classroom, it's like, oh, I already know this.
They break the class down into smaller groups on your class day.
If you need help, you can easily look at whoever's sitting next to you and ask them for help. You know, everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself. This is an organization of brothers and sisters all working together to accomplish a common goal. We work together in the field, and then we become friends on the outside, and it's almost like a family organization at that point.
Nobody I've ever worked with has referred to this job as a job. I went from a job to a life-changing career. So coming out of the apprenticeship program, you can go into a variety of directions with your work. You can become a foreman, you can do motor controls at a manufacturing facility, you can specialize in fire alarm.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
So if you're the kind of person that likes to think things through or see how things work on the inside.
Someone that's detail-oriented, motivated.
I've always seen myself as a hands-on person. Being in an apprenticeship, I'm getting my associate's degree, doing electrical, and being able to do something hands-on.
If you like to build things, this is the place.
It requires you to grow up. Be accountable for yourself because, yeah, they're going to lay out tools to help you be successful, but it's up to you to, grab those tools and build yourself.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job. You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
Halftime tonight at Bryan Station, all defenders. They're shutting out George Rogers Clark. It's the district opener for both these teams. Let's take a look at some of your team stats in this first half, and a little more balanced, at least, Rick, from a team standpoint. Bryan Station certainly the upper hand, but plus 2 turnovers, and then penalties the only blemish for them.
Yeah, and Bryan Station's had great field position, but as we talked about, those penalties, you've got to clean that up because that's going to hurt you. 7 penalties in the first half for 44 yards, and against a team like Douglas next week, as you move on further and further along, you don't want to have 7 penalties in a game, more or less in a half.
Passing yards, Trenton Cuttenwright accompanying for all of those, 168 yards. And then for George Rogers Clark, let's take a look at or take a listen to some of Sam Clement's line, because undersized, undermanned, but he's performed quite well.
Yeah, so with his passing 5 for 9 for 40 yards, along with a 10 yards rushing, he's had to do that. 10 rushes, 23 yards. Lost 6 there, so a net of 17, 1.7 yards per carry. Had a tough night, but I tell you what, as we talked about on that last drive, before that ball slipped out of his hand for a fumble there, he was really moving his team down the field, and I think in the second half, we're going to see more of that. We're going to see more of them rolling him out and letting him make moves, and he, again, you talked about 4 or 5 yard scrambles that really he ran for 20 or 25 yards to get away from Bryan Station.
Certainly the outcome you would think would hold here. What do both teams want to get done in an abbreviated second half?
What you have to do if you're GRC is you've got to forget the scoreboard, okay? You know you've got no points. If I'm GRC's coaches right now, 2 things. Defense, let's get some stops. Maybe we can't stop them the whole time, but let's get some stops. Offense, let's try to get some points on the board. If you're Bryan Station, the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to have any key injuries. I would be resting some players in this second half, building things up from there. Your defense is doing such a good job. Get some of your second, third stringers in there, because if there are injuries later on, you're going to need these kids to play in these games.
This segment of tonight's broadcast is presented by Allstate Insurance Agent Thomas Allen. He's proudly serving Central Kentucky and sets high standards for the services his team provides their clients. It's Thomas Allen, Allstate Insurance. George Rogers Clark trailing Bryan Station at the turn 36-0. More coverage on Glycod when we come back.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
Let's get real. For a lot of people, 4 years of college might as well be a million. With us, you can get a certificate in a matter of months and start a career right away. College for the real world. College for your world.
First responders do the incredible. They help save lives. And so can you by donating at CSL Plasma. Your plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines. And you can be rewarded for your generosity. Every plasma donation can do so much for so many. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate plasma today at your local CSL Plasma Center.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
I'm your overly competitive brother. Psych. And I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh? Foul! And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Thanks, bro.
Take a lap, rookie.
Contact Louisville and Lexington Allstate agent Thomas Allen for a quote today. You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Welcome back to Bryan Station High School. 15 seconds left before the second half. We'll be right back for the kickoff of the second half as Bryan Station leads 36-0 over GRC on Glycod.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
Let's get real. For a lot of people, 4 years of college might as well be a million. With us, you can get a certificate in a matter of months and start a career right away. College for the real world. College for your world.
First responders do the incredible. They help save lives. And so can you by donating at CSL Plasma. Your plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines. And you can be rewarded for your generosity. Every plasma donation can do so much for so many. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate plasma today at your local CSL Plasma Center.
Gen Z is a stall generation.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
I'm your overly competitive brother. Psych, and I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh? Foul! And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Thanks, bro.
Take a lap, rookie.
Contact Louisville and Lexington Allstate agent Thomas Allen for a quote today. You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Take a look at next week's schedule as we'll move forward to Week 9. Some great matchups next week. Rick, all three of the top three in the 6A RPI on our schedule with Ballard, Mail, and the big game Saturday, Bryan Station and Douglas.
Tell you what, some huge games, and it's very interesting how all those games have lined up at this time. As you said, the top three, I have to give you credit for getting all those on Glycod. Going to be a great weekend. I'm actually going to be gone next weekend, but I'll be watching from afar to see how these games go.
Let's talk about the matchup. Well, we'll get to that here. Talking about that Saturday matchup here between Bryan Station and Douglas. We can talk more about that as this second half continues. Will be GRC football.
Yeah, it will be interesting because as they came back out, Jackson Branham for Station had his helmet on, the backup quarterback. He was making a lot of throws out there. Not saying he'll come in, but it looked like he's at least getting ready to come in whenever they're going to call him. And, again, you get some of these younger players in there, give them an opportunity because you never know when they're going to have to step up and replace or take someone's spot during an injury.
This game now running clock. 36 points or more will meet the rule, meet the mandate. So plus 36, we'll have a running clock. Should be an expeditious second half. And a short kick again and fielded up now at the 30 for GRC.
And I would say if you're Bryan Station right now, you're not going to show anything different. You don't want Douglas to see any of your plays that you have that you're going to just hold in for that game. So right now, and if you're GRC, again, you've got to work on just little things to get positive about. Some bigger plays, some plays down the field, some longer possessions, just to get something positive that you can feel about going into next week.
Sam Clements and Hayden Heath. The two in the backfield with Clements in the gun on first down at 10. Rifles it to Davis, and Davis up close to the 40, just shy of a first down.
Tell you what, Clements took, again, a big hit. And, Chris, you talked about it. You've got to give that kid so much credit. He's undersized, taking a lot of hit, but a lot of heart out there. He's not giving up. This team's not giving up. They know it's a continuous clock, but, again, they're going to try to move this ball down the field and get some points on the board.
Credit a gain of 8. Reception for Trey Davis. A cool and crisp, otherwise known as a perfect night for high school football on second and short. And there is Heath barreling his way for a first down across midfield.
Yeah, big opening there. Did a really good job getting that first down, keeping this drive going. And right now, it's only 2 or 3 plays, but GRC, I almost said Clark County. I've tried not to all night, but GRC has to feel a little bit better about themselves. But now don't shoot yourself in the foot with the turnover.
They did have a turnover late in the first half on what looked like an apparent pass attempt for Clements. Handoff Heath on the in around, and Heath trekking his way for a few.
What you talk about, tackled by a host of defenders in there.
Gain of about 6 or so. Always great to hear band on Friday nights.
And a huge band for Bryan Station. Very impressed with the kids sitting in the end zone, playing down there, not up in the crowd here. They brought their own chairs with them, but they sound really good. And tell you what, high school football is just not the same without a band.
Gain of 6 as GRC. This drive began at their 30. So some success moving the chains. There's Heath again, needing 6 and tangled and tripped up at the 42.
Yeah, had a good head of steam going, but they're a good play by Bryan Station to bring them down to get a 3rd and manageable. But again, I think you're definitely in 4-down territory here with this clock continuously moving. Chris, I see some blankets coming out tonight, some hoodies and different things. We're in a nice heated press box, but it looks like it's getting a little chilly out there.
Well, 'tis the time of the year here, week 8, 3 more weeks in the regular season, then the playoffs will commence in early November, and that ball may have spilled, but Clements there to scoop it up.
Can we say he's been all over the field? That time a fumble came out, he got the ball back, was able to try to at least get a little bit further. And we're going to have a dead ball foul. I'm not sure, maybe a sideline warning. Yeah. So you got a 4th down here. Again, no need to punt that ball. They're going to go for it. If you're stationed, you kind of work on your 4th down defense. Clement's going to come in. Wouldn't be surprised to see if they roll him out, try to get one of those passes to the sidelines. But on this 4th down, you got to throw it beyond the sticks. That's the only option you have.
From the 46-yard line. As Clements veering right, floats it, and that's going to one-hop the intended target.
That's the one time he didn't get his feet set underneath him, and that's what happened. If you're still moving and throw that ball, you're going to short arm, and that's exactly what happened. Now you give Station the ball back. 1st down, really good field position. Right now they're going to go with their starters.
Well, perhaps one series for the Station ones.
That's exactly what I would think. If I'm Coach Hawkins, that's what I do. Try to work on a couple little things here, get one series, see where you go from there.
So we veer under 7 minutes in this 3rd quarter. All Bryan Station. Kalen Washington with 3 touchdown rushes in the game. Cut right, sacked from behind, and that ball's going to leak out.
Well, I tell you what, 2nd time he's been sacked. The ball comes out and Station's there to jump on the ball. But, boy, I tell you what, if that's one thing that Coach Hawkins is going to be looking at, there's been a lot of coverage issues tonight, a lot of sacks back there, and it's just kind of surprising because against Tate's Creek, Cutright was able to get outside and not take those sacks. But this time he's tried to stay in the middle of the field and had 2 or 3 where he's gotten sacks so far.
That was Hunter Gully with the sack. And it's 2nd down and 12 after a 2-yard setback. Green in space. And Green down the chute for about 10.
And I think that's one thing. If you're going to have Cutright do that short drop back, you're going to have to make a quick pass out to the sides. He's trying to do that short and waiting for people to get down the field, and it just lets the defensive lineman push up and get right on him.
3rd down and a few. Here is this Bryan Station well-oiled offense back at it on this drive.
Time to have a lineman move.
Be the 8th Bryan Station infraction in this game. They're down and 7. So after starting 0-2, Bryan Station will have won 5 straight. And a big one looming next Saturday on the farm. cut right back to throw, and that ball bobbled and nearly picked off by John, and it will be incomplete.
Yeah, Frazier was out there and had his hands on it, but just could not reel it in. Kind of came at him at a weird angle, and the ball just popped out, but Station's going to go for it here. Chris, I'm not going to get to do the keys to next week's game, but one of my keys is there a way for Station to finally break the stronghold that Douglas has had on the city opponents?
Boy, that's one of many storylines in that game.
Station is going to punt the ball. I think this is kind of practice to get some punt coverage.
Zach Gentry, a high short kick. And that one's going to trickle forward, and it's going to roll down inside the 20. Let's take a look at the Bryan Station remaining schedule. Douglas next week, followed by Madison Central and Central Hardin. And that game, certainly the winner will have a leg up on the district championship, but then a home field scenario for round 2 of the playoffs.
That's what Coach Hawkins talked about. He said not only your opponent in the playoffs, but even more important, the home field advantage for the playoffs, and that's what you're playing for. That's what you want to do. You want all your games here as far as you can go with that. Douglas wants the same thing at the farm, so it's going to be, I tell you what, it's just going to be an interesting game to see.
Inside handoff. Look like Heath again for GRC.
Yeah, late penalty there. Was a late hit. Station had him down, and one of the defensive backs came in and just kind of piled on top there. So as you talked about, Chris, we talked about it in the first half, this team has some stuff to clean up, and some of those mental mistakes of penalties is one thing they're going to have to do, because against Douglas, you don't want to give them any advantage.
Line of scrimmage now at the 33 for GRC. Empty set for Clements. Clements trying to fling it down the middle of the field, and a flag.
Yeah, they're going to call a hold there on Bryan Station. Clements, I tell you what, he had all kinds of pressure through it as far as he could there. Be interesting if they call a hold or if they're going to call pass interference, but he was holding on to the receiver, so he could not break open. That ball was overthrown, but still, there was a reason he couldn't get to it.
They'll mark this back at about the at the 47, it'll appear. So a nice launching point for the Cardinals.
Clemens showed a strong arm there. He threw that ball way down the field there. I didn't know that he had that kind of arm strength, but something again to build on, as you said, for the first-year starter.
First down and 10, GRC. Cardinals will fall to 4-3 on the season. They had won 4 of 5 coming in. And Heath across the 50. Cardinal schedule coming up. We'll see them again at the farm on the 20th. They'll host Madison Central and Franklin County as well. So 2 very difficult games for GRC to wrap up the regular season at Douglas, and then host a 4A Power Franklin County.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're not ducking anyone in their district. They have to, but boy, playing Franklin County, they're the last game of the year before you go into the playoffs.
Second down at 5. And there is a first down for GRC.
A good run there. We was able to get a big hole, was able to hit it fast, and then move it all on up the field. And, Chris, this is one thing that's going to be interesting to see. GRC has been able to bring the ball to right about here, but they can't take it any further. Every time they've either had a turnover or they've lost it on downs, so it's going to be interesting to see, can they continue this trend on this drive?
From the 35-yard line, a very rapidly moving quarter. Both teams have had one drive and a running clock.
Another penalty. Even the home crowd here is yelling at their defense to stop doing that, but we've seen those offsides, and again, they're going to get players in and out. You just can't make those mistakes, and I think right now the way you kind of heal that is you can take away playing time.
It should be about the 10th penalty unofficially in this game. There were 7 in the first half for Station. First down now at 15. As Heath to the near side, and Heath all the way near the 15-yard line.
Good run there. I tell you what, they're opening those holes. They're able to get downfield. And, again, what you want to do is you want to try to get a score. Station's calling a timeout. Their coaches, they don't want to give up this shutout. They want to keep this 133-0 trend going. So right now they're going to talk it over.
We will take a quick break. Back after this on Glycod.
I'm Dr. Jenny Millen. I'm owner and chiropractor at Triple Crown Chiropractic and Wellness. I started this practice in 2010, and traditional bank is the 4th bank I've tried. After switching, I feel like I'm home. I'm from a small town, and that hometown feel of knowing that they care about where you are now and where you are going in the future, that is a win-win for me.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Station calls timeout, leaving them with 2, as GRC will have it inside the defender red zone.
So GRC's had a lot of luck running off that left side here in the second half. So interesting to see if they're going to just do the same thing.
John to the bottom of your screen as Clements leaving it with Heath, and Heath blown up as he tried to bounce it around the edge.
Yeah, that time Station was able to get a lot of pressure in the backfield for a big loss there. And again, they went to that left side, and we talked about it. You can see here they just were able to get a big hit, bring him down for a loss, and I think this one, unless they rush it up the line, we're going to go to the fourth quarter here.
Under 5 as Clements under center. And some miscommunication in the backfield as that's going to conclude the third quarter.
Yeah, I think that one they rushed it too much. I think, as you said, there was confusion there.
Fourth quarter when we come back. Back after this on Glycod.
The Martin family has been in the trucking industry for over 3 generations. My grandfather started this company selling salvage parts in the 1960s, and we're celebrating over 20 years as a Peterbilt dealer. Although we've grown and changed over the years, our focus has always been on you. We get it. When your truck's down, you're not making money. That's why we keep thousands of quality parts in stock so you can get back on the road as soon as possible. At Martin's Peterbilt, relationships matter, and that's why we've been around for generations. Come see us.
Let's get real. You could go to work right after high school, but spend a little time with us and we'll give you a better chance to do more, be more, and earn more. College for the real world. College for your world.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Third down and long coming up for this George Rogers Clark offense, trying to avoid a shutout tonight as they trail Bryan Station 36-0. I'm Chris Labar alongside Rick Reams, Joe O'Mellan on camera tonight. Steve Bird, our producer, so glad to have you here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Chris. You know, at this point, again, we talked about just getting points on the board. Clay Turley, the kicker for GRC, has had a field goal, a long field goal to 43 yards. I don't think they're going to go that direction, but it is an option.
No Bryce Chestnut again for George Rogers Clark. And before we can get started,
not sure what that was about.
And another whistle.
Well, we can't get the continuous clock started because we can't snap the ball. So
2 whistles to start, and now GRC Clements rolling. And he's going to fling it to the boundary. And John caught that with a flag. And it will be a Cardinal touchdown.
Another flag after the play.
That was a great throw by Clements, and Kamani John has GRC on the board.
Sure was. I tell you what, there was only about one place he could throw it, and that's exactly where he threw it. Nice catch, nice throw. Good job there by GRC to get on the board.
Clay Turley on, well, again, he is the kicker, but GRC looks like they're going to send on their 2-point unit.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called that time on GRC, so a big penalty against them. They'll probably enforce that on the kickoff.
Heath is the back behind Clements. Oh my, a very high snap, and Clements back to cover it up.
Smart play there. You know, a lot of times kids try to pick that ball up, and that ball will just, you know, if they can't get hold of it, then Station can run it back and get 2 points themselves.
So the clock idle now at 11:14 after George Rogers Clark on the board for the first time tonight. That's Kamani John's third touchdown reception of the year, 5'8", 150-pound junior.
And let's talk about also the time Clements had. A lot of time in the backfield to find that receiver, was able to roll out, just take his time, made a beautiful pass. Great job there by the GRC offense there. But right now, again, they're putting their defense kind of on their heels after that 15-yard penalty. Going to have to kick off from the 25-yard line. We saw with the opening kick, Bryan Station almost brought it back for a touchdown. Be interesting to see how the kick coverage is different this time.
Damon Green back for Bryan Station. He began this game with a lengthy kickoff return. Then one play later, Kalen Washington scored on a 19-yard rush. And since, it's been all Bryan Station up until that last touchdown reception for John for GRC. And now the clock will restart. And Green scoops it. Trying to find some assistance as he weaves his way up the field.
He may be gone, Chris.
And Green all the way down the sideline. Damon Green. A kickoff, check that, a kickoff return for a touchdown.
And, boy, I tell you what, you said he was looking for a little bit of help, found it, and then, boy, once he got outside, once again, was able to get to the end zone. Pretty much went untouched after picking up the ball. Squib kick, they were trying not to kick to him. They let it go all the way back to him, and what did he do? He turned it into a touchdown.
Damon Green, his second kickoff return for a score on the season. And Station will answer a GRC score. This is a Station team. I mean, goodness, a couple things to clean up, but they've got a very high ceiling.
Wow, unbelievable.
There's a handoff inside, and Clark will navigate in for two more. So Bryan Station well on their way, leading George Rogers Clark. And we're back after this on Glycod.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job. You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
Just 9:18 remain in this game. Some discussion at the far end. We've got an injured GRC student athlete in the end zone. That occurred on the 2-point advancement by Clark. So Bryan Station well on their way. We will step aside again, back with more coverage. High school football right after this.
Flycon on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Flycon.
With Fast Signs, see the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color. With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs. Make your statement.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Football on Glycod.
Hayden Heath, the injured GRC student athlete, he was aided off the field. And it will be Cardinal football here in the remaining moments of this game.
Yeah, as you said, 44-6, big lead for Bryan Station. It's just an overall impressive performance other than the penalties, Chris. That's the one thing. They have done a good job with the turnovers. They've had 2 sacks that have caused fumbles, but GRC couldn't recover either one of those. Had that almost look like a pass, the tuck rule, as you called it, turnover for GRC. So just a tough night for GRC all around.
First down and 10 for the Cardinals. And Clement's going to go wire to wire apparently in this game. There's a flag, and it's dumped short.
They're going to call holding there, but that was more of a tackle. I tell you what, you can't do that right in front of the official because that was an easy call there. Was going to get a sack. I'll give his lineman credit. He was saving his quarterback, but it was definitely a hold.
Well, these officials, they've earned their lofty paychecks here tonight, have they not?
They have, and once we've gotten used to the pink flags on the field, we know what's going on. I tell you what, on that long kickoff return, I was looking everywhere for a yellow flag, and then I thought, uh-oh, I need to look for a pink flag.
Mark this back inside the 10.
Yeah, even the Bryan Station cheerleaders have pink pom-poms. They're going all out for this. Half the band's down there in pink shirts.
First down in about 19.
Blow the whistle again. I'm not sure, once again, if this is a spot issue. Yes. Someone's every time either 1 yard short or 1 yard long.
Get the sense this crew may not be real familiar with themselves.
Yes.
We've seen that a couple times tonight. High snap, Clements just outside of the end zone. And he's going to scoot out of bounds.
Once again, a really good play by Clements. They should almost had him for a safety back there. Was able to break through the arm tackle. We're going to have another late flag, looks like, out there.
Coming up at the conclusion of this game, Rick will announce the Elite Building Products Most Outstanding Player. 1 student athlete from each team will be recognized.
No flag, just another pink something on the field. So.
Well, should be second down and about 18 or so. And Clements prodding across the 10.
Yeah, they've tried that play from the very first play of the game and just have not had much success. Just can't block it very well.
Congratulations to Lafayette. Lafayette, a shutout win tonight, 30-zip over Henry Clay.
Boy, 2 in a row for Lafayette. It's trending. It's building for the Generals, so good for them. But Henry Clay having a tough year, going to have to find a victory somewhere, but that district's not going to be easy to get one.
We will update the ticker at the conclusion. Frederick Douglass and Sayre both winning very big. And how about the Sayre Spartans this year?
I tell you what, they've been tough the past couple of years. You bring Pennington in, and boy, just a big change there for a school that hasn't had a football program for a long time.
They're down now and long. Clements running for his life, floats it ahead. They're going to throw a flag.
Yeah, that's got to be an intentional grounding. But you saw who that was. Devon Frazier there ran all the way across the field and was able to get him down. I tell you what, just an impressive athlete out there. So impressed with his speed. On that one, Clements, he had no receiver. He just tried to toss that ball out there.
Saw a play last night in the male Southern broadcast on Glycod. Similar situation. Southern threw it to the official out of bounds. The official actually caught it and then dropped the flag.
Oh, boy.
So it will be 4th down and a lengthy distance here, so we slide under 4:40 in this game.
Well, they're going to wave the flag off. They must have said there was someone out there. I guess he didn't throw it to the official, but they're going to wave it off. Still 4th down. Doesn't change that, but could have been a real big thing here. It's going to go for it here on your own 10-yard line. I kind of understand it, but at the same time, I don't really want Station to score on me again. But Coach Jericho is going to say, let's see if we can't get some big yards here. But 4th and very long.
From about the 10 and a flag.
That time I think it was a false start. Even maybe have been an illegal snap there. I think he moved the ball but didn't let go of it. Going to be interesting. The officials are talking about it. One Station player that jumped offside is praying that that's what the call is. Getting Station again for the offsides. Tell you what, if I'm Douglas and I watch this tape, I'm going with a lot of hard snap calls and just have my offensive line make sure they stand still.
Boy, you read my mind. Knowing Nathan McPeak, that's certainly something they're going to be focused on in practice this week.
I tell you what, absolutely. A lot of clapping, a lot of hollering, anything you can do to get extra yards.
4th down and long. And a quick kick. The second one of those. Green will backpedal. He's already got a kickoff return tonight for a score. And Green to the near side. Does he have a punt return? Touchdown. Damon Green, a punt return score. They're going to take that off the board.
Trying to see. The coaches are pointing at something. I'm not sure. Dead ball, personal foul.
So I believe that's going to negate the score. As Green will take it in and then watch his offense trot back out on the field.
Yeah. But another thing, I tell you what, another electric, athletic player that Station can throw on the field with JT Haskins. They have all kinds of speed, all kinds of players out there that can make a difference. You just can't try to stop Washington. You got a lot of players going after that.
And a Station timeout. Trying to get some things sorted away here in the remaining moments of this game.
That was a huge play there. I tell you what, just really good quick kick. Got a good bounce on it. I'm sure what you're trying to do is not let Green get hold of the ball. He gets hold of the ball, is able, other than the penalty, was able to break it outside and again get another long touchdown, but called back.
So Station, they will have won now 5 straight after dropping the first 2 to start the season. And GRC will fall to 4-3.
Chris, it's never fun, but you can learn a lot from a loss. And if you're going to lose, you lose early in the season. That's what you want to do. So I was talking to Michael McKinley, the assistant coach from Bryan Station, that you learn from those games. He said they got in their feels at Franklin County, had to have a look inside at each other, and then all of a sudden you reel off 4 in a row, and after tonight, 5 in a row.
New quarterback, it's Jackson Branham, 5'11", 185-pound junior. 173 passing yards on the season. And Branham with a near side handoff and a shifty run across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. It was Bayubehi Bennett.
I was hoping you were going to have to say his name tonight because I still haven't gotten it down yet, Chris. So good job. But I tell you what, this defense is going to have to come up with stop station. They're not going to throw the ball much, but they're still going to let their kids come in there and run the ball.
So many backs. You got Washington, the head of the class, if you will, but we've seen Devon Frazier get some work, although not tonight. Marcus Owens on the season. Avery Johnson as well. Near side handoff and a near collision as Bennett crafting down in the near sideline, and Bennett out inside the 10.
Again, you tell your young kids in this opportunity, you're going to get an opportunity to show. And I tell you what, with Bennett, as you said, a heavy backfield, but we've seen him play before. Station's going to call a timeout here. 1:23 to go, up 44-6. They're going to kind of talk it over.
They're trying to get their kids a chance to score. Perhaps some young guys that don't get a chance to play in these situations. We'll see.
Yeah, you got some kids out here, second, third stringers, some probably just playing freshman games coming out. I love it. The linemen are already out on the field. They're like, I don't need to hear anything. I'm just going to block. That's my job. You all talk about what you want to do, and we'll stand out here and block. So, again, just an impressive overall effort by the Bryan Station here in the first game of the district. GRC, we talked about it, Chris. They came in late. I think that was probably on purpose. But, boy, it just like they have never gotten started. They've just spun their wheel all night.
Yeah, offensively, it's just been very difficult for them to consistently move the football.
Yes, it has been. Tell you what, just a tough night overall. Defensively, just not able to get stops.
First down and goal. Clock restarts. And Bennett up the near sideline. And he is in.
Big run there, Bennett. Got all the carriers on that drive, took them all the way down to the field into the end zone to get a 50-6 lead with a continuous clock. It's one of those that's you got to let your kids play, but at the same sense, it's kind of tough on a GRC team to give up more points.
A lot of the folks beneath us will get an early start home.
Tried to get warm on the way, I'm sure.
And Zach Gentry on for another point after tonight.
Bringing a player in late and we'll call a penalty on that one.
See what happens as the extra point goes through, but a flag as well, as Rick alluded to.
Yeah, false start because he wasn't set because he was running in from the sideline there. It's number 57. I'm not going to give his name out. He's coming out right now, but that's one thing you don't want your name out there for that. But it's just one of those things that towards the end of the game, I'm sure he thought this game was done. They weren't going to score, and he just came out late and just wasn't set, and it was still moving. So, but again, this is a good opportunity. It's almost like a 25-yard field goal now.
Cut right will hold. This is a very solid part of their game. Zach Gentry, an outstanding kicker.
And it looks like he puts no effort into it. Just, walks up there, kicks the ball, and it goes a good way for him.
And that's going to wrap us up here tonight. Bryan Station, 51. George Rogers Clark, 6. Post-game report on the way on Glycod.
Did you know that Cartown Kia has one of the largest pre-owned inventories in the region? And did you know that we source vehicles from all over the country? Not only will we pay top dollar for your trade, we'll buy from you even if you don't buy from us. So stop in today for a quick and easy appraisal, and while you're here, check out the new Kias arriving daily. There's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. Visit Cartown Kia or shop anytime at cartownkiausa.com.
I love Head Start.
Children love Head Start, and you will too. Community Action Council's prep academies are hiring now. Head Start is an early childhood education program for children from birth to age 5. Help us give more children the Head Start advantage.
Teacher, what are you waiting for?
Join our team of dedicated education professionals. Apply online today at comaction.org. What are you waiting for?
The Martin family has been in the trucking industry for over 3 generations. My grandfather started this company selling salvage parts in the 1960s, and we're celebrating over 20 years as a Peterbilt dealer. Although we've grown and changed over the years, our focus has always been on you. We get it. When your truck's down, you're not making money. That's why we keep thousands of quality parts in stock so you can get back on the road as soon as possible. At Martin's Peterbilt, relationships matter, and that's why we've been around for generations. Come see us.
We first opened during the Great Depression, and we've been open for over 85 years now. Through everything that's come our way, we've stayed open by working to make life easier, better, and fresher. By making a real difference in the communities we serve. And by being the kind of place where your money always goes a little further. That's why we're open. Come see for yourself.
Gen Z is a stall generation.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Donating plasma is an easy way to earn up to $600 a month as a new donor while saving lives. That's right. Every donation you make helps patients in need survive and thrive. Returning donors also see monthly bonus payouts and I Give Rewards points. Go to cslplasma.com to learn more about plasma donation. CSL Plasma. Good for you, great for life.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by CSL Plasma. Be rewarded for your generosity. CSL Plasma. Do the amazing. Help save lives.
Back live at Bryan Station High School, 51-6. GRC falls tonight to the Bryan Station Defenders in a very impressive performance, as we mentioned several times tonight.
Yeah, just a good overall look for Bryan Station. Played a really good game, all aspects of the game. The one thing they have to work on, I see 2 things mainly. Penalties, and then also giving up some big sacks that they can't give up all the time.
This GRC bunch really outmanned from the start. And as we talk about some of these Bryan Station individual numbers, what stands out for you the most?
Well, I tell you what, they at halftime, a lot of their big players, Washington didn't play much in the second half, so he had 7 rushes for 63 yards. Cutright, 8 for 11, 176 yards. I tell you what, though, if you look at Green, 2 receptions for 82 yards, a punt return, 1 for 50. He had another one called back for that penalty, and then 2 kickoff returns, 159 yards, 1 touchdown, 80 yards. I tell you what, you see some big numbers out here, and an overall very impressive. Haskins had a couple big catches on 3rd down plays, things that they can work on. And then you talked about it. I just think really to the way that Zachary Gentry plays the kicker, he could come in big. It's going to be a really interesting to see next week how this team comes out against a tough Douglas team.
51-6, Bryan Station a winner over George Rogers Clark. More coverage when we come back after this on Glycod.
New recruit? Take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable. They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Last season, Glycod streamed over 160 games.
As our presence grows throughout Kentucky and Southern Indiana, we have a need for production, sales, and social media support. If you've ever wanted to pursue a career in the fast-paced world of broadcasting but didn't know how, these opportunities could be for you. For more information, please contact info@glycod.com.
We first opened during the Great Depression, and we've been open for over 85 years now, through everything that's come our way. We've stayed open by working to make life easier, better, and fresher. By making a real difference in the communities we serve. And by being the kind of place where your money always goes a little further. That's why we're open. Come see for yourself.
Let's get real. With us, you'll get a great education that can lead to a great career faster. Even better, you won't end up with crippling debt. College for the real world. College for your world.
The Martin family has been in the trucking industry for over 3 generations. My grandfather started this company selling salvage parts in the 1960s, and we're celebrating over 20 years as a Peterbilt dealer. Although we've grown and changed over the years, our focus has always been on you. We get it. When your truck's down, you're not making money. That's why we keep thousands of quality parts in stock so you can get back on the road as soon as possible. At Martin's Peterbilt, relationships matter, and that's why we've been around for generations. Come see us.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Now for a look at the scoring summary in this game presented by Traditional Bank. Who you bank with matters. 3 first-half touchdown rushes for Bryan Station's Kalen Washington. And then you'll see the name Green twice, and what a difference he can make, Rick, with Damon Green. Kickoff return, then that big touchdown reception to close the first half.
Yeah, I tell you what, Damon Green, he's a freshman, Chris, and just making a huge difference out there on the field, and just very impressive. And I tell you what, he's electric when he gets the ball. They have a bunch of those athletes. Going to be interesting to see how they handle, again, the next couple weeks against a big schedule. But, boy, he was impressive tonight as this Bryan Station team really just left everything out on the field and played a great game.
Take a look at some of your final numbers. Station, 176 yards through the air, 125 on the ground. Now +5 on turnovers, +2 tonight. But then you look up those 14 penalties.
Yeah, I tell you what, again, as happy as you are about how a lot of the game went, the penalties they're not going to be happy with. And again, Chris, we talked about it. That can really hurt you against good teams. They had that one series where George Rogers Clark got a first down off of 2 straight offsides penalty. A lot of offsides penalties tonight. Going to have to clean that up. Personal fouls. You know, this game against Douglas next week, it's personal between these two teams. So you've got to keep your mind at you. You can't give up those plays, talking after the game, taunting after the plays, different things like that. Coaches got to tell these kids you got to be smart.
We will talk more about that matchup as well as our most outstanding players presented by Elite Building Products. That when we come back on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Sarah Neely. I'm the financial manager at Mill Ridge Farm. Whenever you transition financial institutions, there's a tremendous amount of paperwork involved. Traditional Bank streamlined this paperwork, and they just made it very simple. Traditional Bank is a locally owned bank that allows us to operate on an international platform. They make my life better, they make my job easier, and they make Mill Ridge a better place.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. you can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
With Fast Signs, create custom deep sea signage that makes the wait a visual escape. Fast Signs, make your statement.
We first opened during the Great Depression, and we've been open for over 85 years now. Through everything that's come our way, we've stayed open by working to make life easier, better, and fresher. By making a real difference in the communities we serve. And by being the kind of place where your money always goes a little further. That's why we're open. Come see for yourself.
Did you know that Cartown Kia has one of the largest pre-owned inventories in the region? And did you know that we source vehicles from all over the country? Not only will we pay top dollar for your trade, we'll buy from you even if you don't buy from us. So stop in today for a quick and easy appraisal, and while you're here, check out the new Kias arriving daily. There's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. Visit Cartown Kia or shop anytime at cartownkiausa.com.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod.
Tonight's most outstanding players presented by Elite Building Products in Nicholasville, locally owned with an outstanding selection of windows, doors, and siding. For more info, visit them at elitekentucky.com. First for GRC.
For GRC, I mean, they had a tough night all the way around, but one kid we talked about that had a heart the whole game was their quarterback, Sam Clements. He ended up 7 for 13, 72 yards, made that beautiful touchdown pass there. And then they also had 11 rushes, led him in rushing with 48 yards. So I think he has to be the player of the game. And I'm going to give that kid a lot of credit because he could have hung his head, but he just kept on playing hard.
And for a Bryan Station, I mean, several, right? Flip a coin.
Yeah, I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity, Chris, because this was a tough one. I mean, you look at the GRC transfer, Kaylin Washington, but I told you one thing that I thought really proved to be the point for the player of the game tonight was the one kid when he had the ball in his hands, you never knew what was going to happen, and that was Damon Green, who had the long touchdown pass, actually had a punt and a kickoff return. The punt return was called back, had another long kickoff return to start the game. So I think we're going to go ahead and give that to Damon Green with a little shout-out to the GRC transfer, Kaylin Washington.
Yeah, Kaylin Washington, some kind of talent. J.T. Haskins played well, Trenton Cutright, the Fraziers, same old song and dance for Station.
Yeah, again, you could have given the player of the game to any of you can just give it to the team. Very good team.
Week 9. Next week, it's a doozy. All the big ones in action. We'll have Scott County and Woodford. That highlights the Friday slate. Then Saturday at noon, Douglas and Bryan Station. Rick, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Won't see you next week. What do you think of that game Saturday?
I tell you what, if you look at Douglas, you look at their record and you're thinking, that's not the real Douglas that we've known in the past, but they've played a tough schedule, lost to a team from Ohio, lost to a team from Indiana, then had a tough 6-0 loss at Corbin, but they're the real deal. But I tell you what, Chris, I think if there's a team that can break that streak that Douglas has against Selection City schools, it's this Bryan Station team. And I tell you what, I'm going to do my best when I'm at work next Saturday. I may have the TV on and just kind of watching my phone a little bit, and I'll act like I'm working, but I want to see that game because I want to see who comes out of here out of this stadium with a victory.
A huge thanks to our great crew tonight. Steve Bird was our executive producer, Joe Amelian on camera. For Rick Reams, I'm Chris LaBar. So long from Bryan Station High School in Lexington. And thank you for watching Central Kentucky High School football on Glycod. Good night.
From Glycod, this has been Central Kentucky High School football. Tonight's game was brought to you by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. Never underestimate you. CSL Plasma. Do the amazing. Help save lives. IBEW Local 369. Power up your potential. Meyer. Higher standards, lower prices. Traditional Bank. Because who you bank with matters. And by Community Action of Lexington, Martin's Peterbilt, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, and Allstate Insurance Agent Thomas Allen.
For scheduled information about our upcoming broadcast, visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation from Glycod.